Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? I'm Adam86 and today we're going to be talking about Chivas' huge win against Leon 2-0. And we're going to go straight into it, guys. Obviously, on the back of the Tapatio draw, on the back of the 1-0 win against the Caxa, we went away to a decent team. They're in the Liguilla spots as are we. And we saw a really good win. Obviously, Pavel Perez, he gets applauded. He scored the game winner against the Caxa. He scored the first goal in this game as well. Brilliant player. He's obviously one of the players I think that Paunovic has kind of improved and playing a system that Pavel Perez can play well in. So really good to see him on the score sheet twice in a row, which is awesome. I think the best player on the pitch, I think the player that had the most impact was Alexis Vega, almost Alexis Sanchez then. Alexis Vega, obviously I'm a little bit biased, but set up both goals, assisted both goals. The first assist for Perez, I mean, what a ping that was. From basically the halfway line, just launches it. Pablo Perez with a hugely exquisite first touch, and then obviously pings it past the keeper. But that was like the story of the game. Obviously, at halftime 0-0, you're thinking, okay, Chivas were doing quite well. Um, and yeah, that's two clean sheets as well, by the way. That's literally just popped in my head. So, Wacho is doing well right now. We'll talk about him in a minute. But, yeah, really good play for the whole team, to be honest with you. We saw Leon out. They had their chances. It was a fairly even game. We had a similar amount of shots, similar amount of penalties, passes, and possession. It was an even game. It was end to end. And you know we managed to see our chances. Obviously, so it's really good for Pineda to get his goal, which is awesome. Obviously, that pretty much sealed the win for us. Um, and yeah, two wins on the bounce, which is amazing. Um, I just want to talk a little bit about Macho Jimenez. Obviously, he gets a lot of stick. I swear, no other player divides Chivas fans right now more than him. Um, and even me, like I'm divided by him. To be honest with you, one minute he just every season it seems every single game he makes two, three, four really good saves, and then he will inexplicably mess up and then allow a goal in every so often as well. He hasn't done that in the last two games, which is good, but he kind of did do that in the Tapatio. Um, so I think a lot. Some people are for me. Like I thought he was a lot younger than he was. I think it's because he's been at Chivas for a while now. Um, but I mean, people talk about like we need a better goalkeeper. Blah blah blah. I mean, he's doing well for us, consistently well. Um, does he make mistakes? Hell yeah, he does. He makes mistakes regularly, but he plays well more of the time. He makes for every mistake he makes, he's made two, three, four, five really good saves. And he's kept us in games. He's kept us in the last two games. Two clean sheets. That's you can't fake that. You can't fake clean sheets, in my opinion. And I think he's doing all right. Would I like to see Acevedo come in? Hell yeah, I would. Even Acevedo, people like Mexico fans, El Tri fans, get divided and are divided by Acevedo. Some people think that he should be starting above anyone else, including Ochoa, and other people think that he's not that good. Um, he's just played against USA and conceded a goal, but um, that wasn't really down to him, to be honest, in my opinion. So, I mean, it's going to cost a lot. Like, Acevedo will cost Chivas an absolute buttload of money. And you think, well, Jimenez is doing enough for me to warrant not spending a lot of money on Acevedo or any other goalkeeper. And beyond Acevedo, who else can we realistically get? People talk about Cota. I'm not really bothered about Cota anymore. Like, I think his time for Chivas is done. What is he, 37 now? Like, I'm alright. I'd rather have Jimenez, to be honest with you. Um, I would have liked to have seen David Ochoa in. I think that would have been a cool signing. Um, but obviously, that's not going to happen now. And obviously, you've got Rangel, who's our backup goalkeeper. I think he can step in. I think have Jimenez in the first team spot for the next season or two, and slowly bring Rangel in because I think Rangel's a really good goalkeeper. He deserves minutes, more minutes than he's getting, which is good. Like I want him there, but I want him to start playing. I want to start incorporating him into the team more. We haven't been doing that. A couple of other youngsters in the second team as well, for me, are not being brought in enough. Um, it's like Bouquet. I think Bouquet deserves more minutes. So I don't know. It is what it is. But at the moment, we're doing really well. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna end this video talking about the fact that we're fourth now in the table with 2 games left to play, 2 winnable games. But you never really know what Chivas are gonna do. I think teams like Mazatlan, we tend to do well against, but obviously they are a team that I could see Chivas slipping up against. Um, so we'll have to keep our wits about us. But 2 games, you think, okay, if we get 6 points out of that, then we're in and around the top four, which is great because that's where you want to be. You don't want to be below fourth, really. It just makes things more difficult. And yeah, that was straight qualifiers for the Liguilla for the first time in ages. No repechajes this season, which is going to be nice. And then, like I always say, the gear is just a madness. You never know what's going to happen in the gear. That's what makes it beautiful, and entertaining. And yeah, why not? If we do get top four, if we finish third, if we finish fourth, why wouldn't we realistically think and believe that we can win the whole title? That's amazing. It's a brilliant debut season for Paunovic. I mean, I think the only one blemish really would be the America result. We were humiliated in that game. We were just absolutely pwned completely, and but that's the only game really that I can think of anyway where we've just been absolutely atrocious and outplayed and just dominated, and spanked. Really, there's no other words for it. We were absolutely just ridiculed in that game. But that's the only game. The other games we've fought hard, we've barely conceded, we've challenged in every single game this season. A couple of other games we've slipped up. I think Toluca was one of them, if memory serves. Um, but beyond that, we've been doing really well, and he's improved the team. Like I said, like beginning of the season, we need him to improve the players that we have, because financially we might not be strong anymore. Certain players just don't want to play for Chivas because they're American fans or whatever. So it's difficult for Chivas in the transfer market. So if we can have a coach that brings out the best in the players that we actually have, that's step one. That's the foundation. I think Vanovic has done that. Players like Perez, who's playing out their skin for him right now. Something amazing has happened to Chivas, and we're involved again in Liguilla. We're going to be involved in title conversations. Like realistically, for the first time, probably since a couple of years ago when we got knocked out in the semis by America, I think it was, which is great. And that's the first corner turn. Now it's about bringing in better, really good players from the youth system, players like Bouquet, and Rangel, I think, as well. We need to really start incorporating them into our games regularly. And I think that's going to happen probably next season. And then obviously buy 1 or 2 really good players. The last player we bought was Pocho, and he's absolutely turned this club around. I haven't mentioned Pocho much in this video so far, but he's been the talisman. Like, he's a captain. Like, he's our captain now. And it's extremely rare, really, for a player to come into a team and within a couple of months just like, okay, I'm captain now. He's a captain. The way he acts, the way he plays, it's him and Vega at the top of like who's our best players and who's our most important players. But Pocho is the leader. Out of the two, I feel like Pocho is the guy that's going to be leading this team going forward. And there's always this question about whether Vega's going to go to Europe and blah blah blah. That's a whole other thing that I'm not going to get into until the summer. But Pocho's our talisman now. He's our best player. He's our leader, and long may that continue. But if we can make 1 or 2 more really astute signings, I think this team can really go and challenge for a while anyway. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We could be trashed next season. It could all fall apart, whatever. But I feel like we've finally got a coach in who knows what the club needs and is doing it, and has enough intelligence and experience on his own to bring out the best in the players that we have. And we're playing really well under him. Like, take the America result away, and I would say we've played really well all season. Um, Even though we've lost a couple more games, but they weren't 3-0s. They were just like 1-0s, 2-1s, kind of fine margin kind of things, and that's what I want to see. I want us to see us play well consistently. Not winning every single game, so I think that's unrealistic, but playing well consistently and getting the gear consistently and getting far in the gear. There's no point getting the gear and then losing in the first round. Like, there's no point. I want us to go far, and we could. Like, we can legitimately could. And I think Chivas fans are valid and well within their rights to talk about, hey, we could win the title. But anyway, yeah, so I'm really happy at the moment. 2 wins in the bounce, a draw against Andes, and then that the Club America game, which I hopefully won't talk about anymore. So yeah, 2 more games, absolute must wins. We have to win those 2 games, and then don't forget to leave a comment down below if you want to talk about the team, the players, Liguilla, the title. We'll talk about everything. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. We've had a bunch of new subscribers over the last couple of weeks, which is amazing. Welcome to you guys, and yeah, I look forward to talking to you guys. So yeah, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you guys for the next video in the next game. Adios.